So, here we are again. So, yeah, so last time was really hard to get through. We were did a bit of investigating, small bit, and then we jumped right into the class trial. Which was really hard to kind of stomach for me, personally. We were in the virtual world. Well, we deduced that Miu died while in the virtual world, and then it killed her in real life because of shock, or thereabouts. Because there was no injuries on her, and the bottle of poison that was there was a red herring because it would leave very bloodshot eyes, which she didn't have, or some such. And we found out the big, crazy reveal that the virtual world loops with the big walls that only Miu could travel through. I spent a lot of time proving that. I had to do it the whole way, which was kind of frustrating. Either way, now we're into the second half of the trial. Not sure where exactly we're going to be going. My guess is Kokichi or Kaito as the only perpetrators. They're the only ones who, well, Tsumugi, Kaito, or Kokichi are the only three who could potentially do it. If anyone in the mansion wasn't Shuichi, because Shuichi's an idiot. Anyway, let's go. Man, I'm pushed. One more thing. Okay, yep. Oh, no, dude. Man, I'm bushed. I got no motivation at all. And Monofeni's period is late too. Father, why do you know Monofeni's cycle?
And another.
Never mind that. Perhaps this lack of motivation is due to a lack of hibernation.
Yeah?
Lack of hibernation? Yeah, I've been sleeping well lately. So I haven't really been able to hibernate. That's awful. What could be causing it?
Ah.
Is it because you have a lot on your mind? Hmm? Is it because the graveyard shift pays a better hourly wage? Huh?
Really?
It's because you don't want them to think you're just goofing around? Hmm? Is it because you want to stay friends? Hmm? Is it because you want to watch it in real time? Father? He's gone into hibernation. We should let him be.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. Night night. That was pointless. That did nothing. Alright, I'll resume.
My head!
My head.
Tara! Pull yourself together! I feel like I'm forgetting someone important to me, but I just can't.
I just can't.
My head hurts so much. I just can't remember. Have you forgotten?
Sorry.
Maybe that's for the best.
Good.
From this point forward, let's start a new life for ourselves. After all, our baby is excited to meet his daddy, you know? Daddy? Wait, what? I'm gonna be a father?
How far are they going with that thing?
Death flag. I'll be surprised if he doesn't die after that.
More importantly, let's continue the conversation where we left off.
Or did we leave
We
off?
understand Miu plotted the murder, but we need to find out who killed her. And in order to figure that out, we need to understand Mew's actions. So let's discuss her murder scheme step by step.
There's also
I know that's
always the
important, but hearing
possibility
you
of
lead the
suicide.
conversation really pisses me off.
Let's see. Mew manipulated the virtual world to use it as part of her murder plan.
Don't just ignore me and start anyway.
If she had succeeded, she would have gone past the wall between the chapel and mansion. And then wham! Murdered me on the roof with the hammer.
She would
Yep.
make the murder seem like it happened in the real world, and then pin it on Kaito.
As for Mew's alibi in the real world, she could say she was locked into the virtual world. And in the virtual world, she could say she was near the chapel the entire time.
She'd make an excuse about how she
Yep.
couldn't reach the mansion because of the fallen bridge.
Oh. Sounds pretty straightforward. Oops, my hand slipped. Okay. Whoops, my hand slipped.
She dropped the bridge on purpose so she could separate the chapel from the mansion.
Yeah.
Then secretly passed through the wall she installed and took advantage of the loop. After, she headed to where we were supposed to meet up, the mansion's rooftop. Yeah, Kaito was probably logged out around that time too.
That's when I saw Mew.
Problem is, because of her murder plans, we don't even know where she was killed.
She was killed on the roof, right? Kokichi told us the roof door was locked and that he couldn't get through.
Maybe that when culprit killed her.
That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
Did the culprit lock the door to the roof?
Perhaps. I don't think Mew did it. If Mew did lock it, she would have done it when she called Kokichi to the roof. Even if someone came up, I don't believe she would change the target of her plan. She knew that Kokichi would come up later. Locking the door would be suspicious.
Well, it's possible she didn't even think that far ahead.
She was smart, but she was also really,
Yeah.
really dumb.
Yeah.
No say such mean things! Killing game bad, not Mew. Me not bad person. Going to think we could have been friends if things different.
That might have been difficult, even without this killing game.
That wouldn't happen.
Nuh-uh. No way, Jose.
Huh?
Anyway, let's continue the discussion. If Mew was killed on the roof of the mansion, the culprit must have moved Mew's avatar to the chapel after killing her, right?
So the next thing we should talk about is how they moved her avatar.
Now we know the mansion and chapel were actually next to each other. But the problem is the wall between them.
Only Mew was able to go through that wall. The culprit wouldn't have been able to.
Then you're saying the culprit sent Mew's avatar through that wall?
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
Yeah.
But how did the culprit send Mew's avatar through the wall? I mean, it's not like they could have thrown her.
Go to not throw her!
We know. You couldn't because the avatar's physical strength was equalized.
Physical
Right.
strength equalized?
You were literally there, Gonta. Who
That
told you
problem.
this?
Gonta no can protect everyone if that happens.
Jeez, keep up with us. We're already in the second half of the class trial.
How did they send Mew's avatar to the other side of the wall? Maybe that thing has something to do with it. You know, the loud sound you heard?
Huh? What was that sound? Yeah.
Because
it
of that
does.
sound, you
Yep,
guys went to
yep.
the side of the chapel. Right, Keyboy? That's when you
Yes.
found the dead Mew there, right?
Yes.
If so, then I think that sound and her avatar being by the chapel are related.
Yes. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind that the noise is related to this case. We need to figure out what that sound could have been. It might be the clue we need to solve this case. So what was it? It sounded like something slamming hard into something else. what were those two things? It could be hammer hitting the wall, someone hitting the wall, lattice hitting the wall, Mew hitting the wall.
That's it! I think the sound came from Mew's avatar hitting the chapel wall. The hammer, cell phone, and lattice were there, but they were too small to make that
Sure,
noise.
it was a cell phone, totally.
Ruling those out, the only other explanation is that the sound was Mew colliding with a wall.
If that's the case, Mew's avatar must have hit the chapel wall really hard. He felt the impact all the way from the inside of the chapel.
Yeah, that's the real question. Mew's avatar probably hit the chapel's wall with pretty considerable force.
Yeah.
But why did it hit the wall with such force? Can you guys figure it out?
Yep.
Hold on, Kokichi. What's up with the way you're talking? Why are you talking like you know everything?
Let's not worry about that right now. More importantly, we gotta solve the
I
mystery.
somewhat feel like Kokichi
Fighting
right
among
now.
friends is a waste of time.
Somewhat.
Friends? Us?
Anyway, can we talk about that after we figure this problem out?
A way of transporting Mew's avatar that would
Guys,
cause it to crash into the
Literally
chapel.
right there. Getting Mew's avatar to crash in the chapel from the mansion's roof. There's only one way I can think of how to do that.
Hey, Shuichi, as your partner, I'll give you a little
Can I
hint.
just say it?
You'll what?
Since the mansion was on top of a hill, the roof was pretty high up, right?
Yes.
Past the brick handrail, the roof was at a pretty steep slope.
Yes.
And the slope faced the chapel wall.
Yes.
On top of that, there was snow on the roof.
Yes. I know.
If the culprit needed force to move the body, I wonder how they did
I
it.
wonder how they did it. Kokichi's talking as if he's got the whole thing figured out already. But I can't let him distract me. I need to solve the case. How to make Mew hit the chapel wall from the roof of the mansion. I'm gonna find the answer. Slid, not sled. Off. Slid off the roof. There we go. Finally. Oh my god, what a crazy reveal. Who
The
would have ever
culprit
thought
used
of
the
that?
sloped roof as a slide for Mew's avatar.
Yeah. Whoa.
Slide? Aw, man. Even with the slope and the snow, Mew's body wouldn't have slid.
Wrong. It would slide.
But the avatars can generate friction. We wouldn't have been able to walk otherwise. So I doubt that it would have had that much momentum.
No, no.
Maybe.
It would slide.
It wouldn't slide, just like Maki Roll said.
It would slide, just like Shumai said.
Who the hell is Shumai?
Oh, he's a pupil of Ramen Man. Sorry, my hobby slipped in.
I'm positive that that's how Mew's avatar was moved, but maybe the culprit used something else as well to help her body slide.
Even if her avatar slid off the roof, would it slide off that quickly?
Well, duh, it would.
If it made that much noise, he must have built up a lot of speed.
Lots of snow piled up on roof. Not frozen solid, right?
It'd still slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
Maybe.
It's not the issue.
It's not the issue.
Sliding down snow is easy to do.
Yeah.
You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
Yes.
There was nothing like that. That's wrong!
Was the other ones? It was at least
No,
odd.
wait. There was something that could have
Processes?
been used to help slide Mew's body.
On this one,
Do you remember the lattice that was
right there,
found by
false
Mew's
seed.
avatar? The culprit laid her on top of that, then used it as a sled on the roof.
no way.
I did notice the lattice in the storage room when I first looked. But during the investigation, I saw that it was gone.
No way.
The lattice that was found next to the chapel is the one that disappeared from the roof?
Yes.
Then that's
Was
it.
there ever
the
any
culprit
other
used the
one?
lattice as a sled.
Ding, ding, ding! That's correct!
They just assume that that stuff's lying outside for no reason next to the body.
After the culprit killed Mew on the rooftop, they placed her corpse on a sled and slid her down the roof's steep slope.
There you go.
The sled picked up speed, flew off the roof, glided through the wall only objects could pass through, and hit the chapel.
There you go. Yeah, that all makes sense. Okay. So everybody
The
up to speed
impacts
now.
made all of her belongings scattered, including the hammer and cell phone.
Yes.
Just like that hedgehog who loses all his rings whenever he crashes into stuff.
Sonic reference.
I hate that guy and his worldwide fame and his stupid games, and I hate that hedgehog!
Daddy, I'm glad you're feeling motivated again, but you shouldn't be so hateful.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Somebody used a
That'd
sled
be an
to carry a
example
corpse.
to our new
What a
family.
crazy idea.
Yeah, Father. Or should I start calling you grandfather now?
Or are they still calling it that thing?
Now that we know how the body slid down, we're just one step away from the
Aren't they
culprit.
also robots?
Well, Shuichi, do you know who the culprit is?
It's either you or Kaito. The culprit.
Yeah. In the end, we'll still need to guess the culprit.
But that's the
huh?
question.
What? Gonta can't believe one of us killed Mew.
Where's he going to?
However, since we know she was killed on the roof, we can narrow down the list of
There
suspects.
we go.
Meaning, the culprit must be someone who was investigating the mansion.
Yes. There we go.
Aside from Mew, the people at the chapel could not go through the wall or cross the river.
So that means the suspects are Kaito, Samugi, Shuichi, and Gonta.
Oh yeah, Gonta was there.
That's real sneaky,
Getting him out
leaving
of-
yourself off the list.
Ooh, you got me.
That's right. 5 suspects, me, Samuki, Gonta, Kokichi, and Kaito. Oop. When we were talking about the rooftop, they clearly lied. For what reason would they have to lie? Give me a sec. We don't know enough to name this culprit yet, but one of them is suspicious. When we were talking about the rooftop, they clearly lied. For what reason would they have to lie? I need to press them for information before making any judgments. Which guy? The only one on the roof was Kaito and Gonta? Who's the liar? Kaito, did you lie about something on the roof? What are you talking about? I wouldn't lie.
Oh no!
Okay, now. Movie she was inside it's either Gonta or Kokichi. I can't remember the specifics of what they said.
It's you!
Okay.
Kokichi, there's something I need to know.
What do you need to know?
Why did you lie just now?
Which lie are you talking about, Shuichi? I lie a lot, so you'll need to jog my
Not
memory.
that, but you'll need to be specific.
Fine. I'll expose your lie right now.
Maybe. Which one? Also, I never went to the roof. Not even for the meeting. It all began when Mio showed us the map. That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
It was that testimony that bothered me.
Alright. Hey, I did it. Sweet. Ooh. Shit. That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof. Alright, try to read them and do this weird gimmicky little game here. Also, I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting. Alright. Yeah. What's this one say? It all began when Miu showed us the map. I was thinking this one. Which one is that one? I never went to the roof. For some odd reason, my brain got flipped on those. Alright. Okay, so
When you were explaining that the door to the roof was locked, you said...
also, I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting.
But later, you said...
Since the mansion was on top of the hill, the roof was pretty high up, right? Past the brick handrail, the roof was a pretty steep slope. The slope faced the chapel wall. On top of that, there was snow on the roof.
That's a lot of specific information. Stuff you wouldn't know if you hadn't been there.
Oh yeah! Now that you mention it, how did you know all that stuff?
You could probably see the steep slope of the roof from outside the mansion. But you wouldn't know about the brick handrail unless you went up to the roof yourself.
Yeah.
Huh? What?
What's this all about, Kokichi? Did you actually go to the rooftop?
I didn't. I already told you that before.
He's
Why
really
you
acting.
look so nervous?
Is this a sincere reaction?
But there's no evidence that proves I went to the roof. Wait, I remember now. That thing Himiko said.
He's really accepted it.
At the start of the class trial, I remember you saying the handrail was made of bricks. Ooh, you so clumsy, girl. Gotta be more careful there, Himiko.
Not at all.
Is it my fault?
Himiko really say that?
She totally said that.
No, she didn't!
Yes, she did.
She did not!
She did too.
Then when? Tell me how long ago. In hours, minutes, and seconds.
What a worthless
Pretty much,
fight.
it's yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this terrible fighting is bad for the baby!
Yeah, grandfather. Stop them before your grandkid is born.
I'm not gonna apologize, because Himiko said it.
So damn stubborn.
How much longer are you going to behave like this?
We don't have time for this. If Kokichi is stubborn, he won't fess up no matter what. But if he's being this stubborn, it makes me think he has something to hide. To get him to show his hand, I have to prove he was on the roof. I might not like it, but I have to be aggressive. If we don't get the whole truth now, everyone's lives are in danger. So I guess I have to lie at this point. But what? Fall to a poison, loud noise, move scorch, suffering.
I didn't go to the roof!
I've had it.
He agreed to meet up with me on the rooftop, but because the door of the rooftop was locked, he couldn't. Because of that, he returned to the salon and decided to search there. There are no witnesses who can confirm whether or not Kokichi was actually in the salon.
Enough of your lies, man!
I'm not lying! The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it!
That could technically be true, but timing.
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
Liars burn in hell, you know?
If you're lying, I'll set your pants on fire!
Fire, fire, fire.
That's fine, because I'm not lying.
Then why do you look so nervous?
Alright, he's just not for sure, but if he keeps on lies on me, I have to fight fire with fire.
I didn't go to the roof!
I've had enough of your lies, man!
I'm not lying! The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it!
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon.
I'll reveal the truth.
Alright, perjury. Break. Okay, there we go.
Kokichi, you're lying right now, aren't you?
Huh? Lying about what?
Just before the murder occurred, I went to the salon to check on you, but you weren't there.
What? Really?
I waited there for a while. You never showed up.
What's this all about, Kokichi? Didn't you go right back to the salon after finding the roof door locked?
I see. You use underhanded tactics too, huh, Shuichi?
You can just say you're lying.
So
That
who
works
are
too,
you guys
right?
gonna believe? Shuichi or me?
Shuichi.
Well, of course I'm gonna believe Shuichi.
I believe Shuichi 100%.
The one who's not Kokichi.
100 house points. Oh, no. Himiko points to Shuichi.
But to go to the salon, Shuichi would need to pass by me in the dining room. I wonder why I didn't notice Shuichi there. Oh well. I'll believe Shuichi anyway. She's usually right about stuff.
Everybody's an idiot.
Sorry, but I'm going to believe Shuichi too.
I see. I wanted at least Gonta to believe me.
What comes around goes around. That's what happens to liars like you.
Why do you guys hate lies that much? There's only one truth, but endless possibilities for lies.
That's why.
And some of them are only white lies, or lies to be kind to people. If you deny all of that just because it's a lie, then that means you guys are just terrible at being lied to. Seriously, the worst!
Just spit it out already. You went to the roof, didn't you?
Isn't that where he met up with Miu?
No, he didn't just meet her there. He probably killed.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you if you want to know that badly. Consider this my revenge.
This is just a bizarre
Revenge?
episode. Revenge?
You got some balls lying to me. I'm gonna take away your fun for pissing me off, Shuichi. I won't let you do any detective work, or deduction, or mystery solving, or anything.
Oh?
So, I'll confess everything. You guys better listen carefully.
Confess? A confession? So you are the culprit after all.
Most likely, but it's
I came up with a
Kokichi.
plan after Miu asked me to meet up with her. She asked me pretty eagerly, too. So I decided to pry some info out of her. She gave me the rundown of the virtual world before she explained it to you guys. As I listened, I realized she was planning a murder. On me, no less. When I investigated the virtual world, I found out that a person can die from shock. Without a doubt, she planned to use that for my murder. So that's when I decided to prepare my own crime with her plan. I pretended to cooperate with her and lured everyone into the virtual world. That's also why I worked together with Monokuma.
You work together with Monokuma?
I guess the jig is up. Yeah, everything he said is true. Kokichi came to me with an idea to make the killing game more interesting.
Made it more aggravating.
It was such a good idea, I decided to place a motive in the killing game simulator.
You added a motive? Then the secret of the outside world is the motive, right?
No fair! Monokuma can't take sides!
I didn't help him with anything, and I had nothing to do with the murder itself. He merely suggested a way to spice up the killing game, and I accepted. Kokichi and I had a quid pro quo relationship. Technically, that doesn't violate the rules.
Bullshit!
Really
no matter how you look at it, you guys are working together.
Yeah, I'll explain my relationship with Monokuma, so let me finish my confession.
I'm fine with that, but you're confessing without much of a fight.
I told you, I'm gonna get in the way by taking away the mystery-solving fun. If I can't win this game, then I'll make it boring for everyone. That's my revenge. Well then, the culprit is Gonta.
What?
Huh?
What did you...
Wait! When did Gonta kill Mew?
That's a lie! He didn't kill her! Kokichi's just lying!
Now you're trying to pin things on Gonta? Do you really expect us to believe such an obvious lie?
Yeah, there's no way Gonta could commit a murder this complicated. He's not.
It's my turn now!
Kokichi did take Gonta around the place at the beginning.
The truth is, Gonta and I worked together. We formed a duo to end this killing game. As the Killing Game Busters!
What busters?
We must win this killing game in order to end this killing game.
What you mean, we?
By the way, I came up with the murder plan, and Gonta carried it out.
Gonta what?
Why are you more surprised by that than the first thing he said?
'Cause Gonta have no idea what he's talking about.
Come on, quit lying and tell us the truth.
Gonta is telling the truth! He's not someone who lies all the time like you!
And no matter how naive Gonta may be, I doubt he would ever team up with Kokichi.
Yeah, not after insect meet and greet incident.
It's obvious what he's trying to do. Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, so Kokichi's trying to trick him. He's trying to sacrifice Gonta to escape from his crime!
Potentially.
You're a terrible person! How dare you use Gonta like that?
You're right. I'm sorry. I did something horrible to Gonta. I didn't want Shuichi to hog all the glory, so I told everyone the truth.
Cut that out! I told you it's not gonna work.
Don't you think I could have pulled the strings and made Gonta carry out my commands?
It doesn't matter if it's possible or not, because I say it's just impossible.
So this would be a...
It does matter. There's no need to bring emotions into class trials.
Let's bring the question. Is it the physical
All
act
we
of
need
the
is
killing?
logical thinking.
Or the
Right,
planning of it?
Shuichi?
What?
Gonta not understand what's going on. But still, Gonta not kill Mew. Gonta really not know anything. And also, Gonta not tell lies. And Gonta not make trouble for others. 'Cause that not how gentlemen act. That why Gonta not culprit.
Yeah, Gonta's not lying. I can tell just by looking at him.
I already used my magic to check. Gonta's definitely not lying.
Pretty sure he's not lying, but he may be misguided.
Then let me ask you guys. If it's not Gonta, then who's the culprit?
You, of course!
Come on! There's already proof that I couldn't have killed Mew.
There's already proof?
No.
Oh, did you forget already? Then let me make it clear again. Why I can't be the culprit!
Yep, it was... Settings on Kokichi's app.
I am not the culprit. Didn't I prove that to you guys already? The clue is how Mew was killed.
Mew got strangled to death, right?
Yes.
Toilet paper was the murder weapon.
Mew would have totally resisted if she was being strangled, right? Then it would have been impossible for someone as weak as me.
You talking about the strength of your virtual avatar? That wouldn't matter if you strangled her from behind.
I can't do
In
that.
which case, even if she did resist, the most she could have done is merely touch the culprit.
Exactly. She couldn't struggle much. So you could have kept strangling her, no problem. That's wrong!
You couldn't have.
Actually, maybe it wasn't possible for Kokichi to strangle Mew.
Why wasn't it possible?
Mew modified my avatar, so if she attacked me, I wouldn't be able to resist. If Mew touched me, then I'd be unable to move.
Huh?
Yep.
So I would have had to kill her instantly, such as stabbing or hitting. I couldn't have murdered her by strangulation, because it'd be game over if she touched me.
What?
Well, if you were using the toilet paper, you wouldn't need to touch her directly.
But if you can't be touched while you're wrapping the toilet paper around her neck, then it would be impossible.
Which means, as long as she died from strangulation, it couldn't have been me.
Wait! What if it was something besides strangulation then? Like,
There's no doubt Mew was strangled. We already discussed this.
Yes.
Kaito is really desperate to make me the culprit. No matter how much you whine about it, you can't change the truth.
You still could potentially have
The
done it long
culprit who
range
killed
or
Mew is Gonta
you're doing.
Gokuhara! This is the truth you all adore so much.
No! Gonta not kill Mew! It's true! You gotta believe Gonta! Gonta would never hurt anyone!
I believe you. You've been risking yourself to protect everyone.
That's
There's no way Gonta would kill. He won't even kill bugs.
all the steam.
I believe Gonta too. I'm not gonna listen to Kokichi's lies.
of course! Who'd believe a liar like him? He's lying about Gonta being the culprit, so there's no point talking about it.
I don't know about that. If we want the truth, we might have to ask uncomfortable questions.
Right, Shuichi?
Yeah.
You think so too, don't you?
Huh? I know how important it is to believe, but as the ultimate detective, I know we can't solve this case with belief alone.
Huh?
It's just that something doesn't add up.
Yeah.
I have this feeling something's off. We can't keep going back and forth like this. We need to discuss this.
What, you
Stop being so
wanna
vague,
suspect
but
Gonta?
Too bad, Kaito. Looks like Shuichi agrees with me.
Don't be so direct.
No, I'm not trying to...
Oh, the irony! It's all thanks to Kaito that Shuichi got his act together as a detective. And now, Shuichi's intuition as a detective has made him more suspicious of others. Well, can't be helped. That's just what a detective does.
No, you,
That's not it,
the suspicion
Kokichi.
itself isn't bad.
I'm just trying to make sure that everyone
Shuichi, Gonta really not do it. Gonta not culprit. Please, believe Gonta.
We might as well discuss it.
And that's the thing. You put this full-on suspicion onto them, and if you come up with nothing, then you can say definitively it's not you, and then the suspicion goes away. And they are untouchable now. So it's a good thing to suspect people, to then make it so that, hey look, they get rid of the guilt. Okay, you couldn't have possibly done it. So let's look to the next guy. You couldn't have done it, couldn't have done it, couldn't have done it. And you process elimination, get to the right answer. So being suspicious of somebody isn't inherently bad. It's actually a good thing.
What?
As a precautionary measure, that's all. I think we need to seriously discuss whether Gonta was capable of committing this crime. Only then can we arrive at a logical decision.
There we go.
You guys, why don't you get it? That's just what Kokichi wants. He's just trying to split us up! Shuichi, open your eyes!
But...
2-for-1 truth special!
2-for-1
Sorry
truth
to ruin
special.
this tense moment, but you guys seem pretty evenly split right now. So, the Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more
Yay.
phenomenal trial grounds!
So we're gonna do that again?
Shuichi, why? Why don't you understand? You're my sidekick, aren't you?
Kaito.
More like Kaito. Of course I want to believe Gonta. I don't want to think that he killed someone. But as the ultimate detective, I can't turn away from the truth. I need to find the truth. Split opinion. This is a really overly cinematic thing for me. Not quite all that cinematic thing. It's weird. So I have to wonder, this animation is the same each time, but there's the different portraits. So does that mean it's a pre-rendered multiple times, or they have it rendered in the game, but with some new aspects? Like, where are all the dead guys?
Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
I got this! I can't say for sure he's the culprit. I'm saying we can't rule it out.
Gonta is such a sweetheart. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Kokichi!
Don't you realize these so-called sweethearts can commit crimes too?
Be
Could
pretty
Gonta
obvious at
have
this
even
point.
made it to the rooftop without being noticed?
Kibo! The entrance hall is all that separates the rooftop from the mansion exterior.
There should have been witnesses at the entrance hall.
I got this!
Nobody was
No,
in the entrance hall.
none of us were in charge of the entrance hall.
But Kokichi confessed he was working with Monokuma.
Kokichi!
I did cooperate with Monokuma, but only on a temporary basis.
It's all a lie. Kokichi is the one who killed Mew.
Kibo!
That isn't possible, because Kokichi's avatar had special settings.
Gonta not kill Mew! Honest!
I got this! The truth is, Gonta could have murdered Mew.
This is our answer!
So it's 3 of us versus everybody else, huh? Look, all of our arguments are based off logic.
In my opinion, as long as it is possible that Gonta is the culprit,
Joystick is sticking
we
with
have
us.
to discuss it.
That's ridiculous. You're going to believe Kokichi over Gonta?
Ruling it out.
That's not it at all. I just want the truth. If we're going to survive, I have to find the truth.
But Gonta telling truth. Gonta really not culprit.
I still don't think Gonta's lying.
But didn't I tell you guys already? If you're planning to expose a liar, then you have to corner them psychologically. Only then will they reveal their true self as a liar, hiding beneath a layer of deceit. That's why it hurts my heart to persecute Gonta like this! Gonta, if you understand, then do it right. Make logical arguments for the truth.
Logical arguments?
It means use your head to make arguments.
Use head?
What I'm trying to say is, if you aren't the culprit, then you gotta prove that you aren't!
Can't just say it, you gotta prove it.
But Gonta really not know.
I'm sick of hearing you say you don't know! God, why are you so dumb?
Gonta just want to help everyone, like true gentlemen.
You're a true gentleman? More like a true nincompoop.
Hey! Now that's just bullying.
Bullying? Yeah, so what? That's what you do in this game, right? You guys blame and gang up on me, but now you're gonna pretend to be good people?
No, I never ganged up.
Gonta, argue back already! Just make an excuse or whatever!
Stop it! That's enough!
Stop what? You mean stop the game? Hey, do you even know what you're saying?
Yeah, I know. What about it? I don't want to survive if it means I have to stoop to your level.
Oh, that's a low blow right there.
Just a bit.
Then just die in a hole for all I care. We want to live, so stop getting in our way.
Quit it. If you don't shut your mouth, then I'll shut it for you. Permanently.
That would make
Maki,
me black.
please, calm down.
Sorry. It Gonta's fault everyone's so upset. But Gonta telling truth. Gonta really not culprit. Cause Gonta not know anything. Really.
Cut it out already! That's all you've been saying this whole time!
You're the one that needs to cut it out.
Wait, what did Kokichi say? Well, he's been saying this whole time. That's true about Gonta. This whole time, Gonta's been saying he doesn't know anything. Gonta did not understand either. Me would like this when Gonta wake up. Gonta was sleeping too. Had strange dream. Gonta not understand anything. Gonta not know. Murder already happened when Gonta wake up. But why this happened? Why were you killed? Gonta not understand. Gonta not understand anything. Because Gonta have no idea what he's talking about. But when exactly did he start using that defense?
That's it!
That's it. It was after he logged out. That means...
Did Gonta get into an accident in the virtual world?
Accident?
The accident that hit Gonta, that was... Look, the secret, yes, sir. Well, let me come in. The others, no Gonta, okay, does count. Can't break. Characters. Look at that. Cell phone, let us muse, PGs, confession, salon, wallet, avatar error.
This is it!
I thought that might have been it. Just trying
When
to
we
make
logged into the virtual world, an avatar user error occurred.
Some sort of avatar user error occurred when you all logged in for the first time. An error? Contents of the error are unknown, so I can't provide any details, but something strange definitely happened to someone's avatar when you all logged in.
An avatar user error?
Ever since Gonta logged out, he's been saying, I don't know, I don't understand.
That's because Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, right?
That's what I thought at first. But I think it's because of the error.
What you mean?
So that error is what's affecting Gonta. It's making him forgetful and loopy. And what was the error? What could it have been? Come on. Boss? He screwed up the cables, which is why it was so important that they
I
hammer
believe
that
it's
home.
possible that Gonta doesn't remember what happened in the virtual world.
Huh?
He doesn't remember.
You started saying, I don't know anything, after leaving the virtual world. I think that's the result of some kind of memory error.
Oh, that's why he doesn't remember anything that happened in the virtual world. Not even killing Mew.
What? That's ridiculous! Quit screwing around!
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
What do you mean he doesn't remember? He's just confused.
Gonta told us he was bad with computers, remember?
Memory or no memory, Gonta never hurt anyone!
No way, Gonta's the culprit!
Okay. Mass attack debate. On the cool file log and lockout where we accept
Gonta never hurt anyone! Doesn't remember.
We accept the news dad before everyone can log out. Everyone each logs in and out. We want to see the time to accept logouts. Suppose. The keychain goes to logged in. Goes to logged out.
Gonta wants to keep everyone safe!
You did it, but you don't remember this, right?
If there was a glitch, it's gentlemen, protect friends! Affected all of us.
Your lies aren't protecting anyone.
Gonta not lying! That means there was no Gonta swear!
It wasn't a problem. What about it? Gonta was just confused. I don't care if you're a detective. I'll never accept this.
I was wrong!
Gonta never hurt anyone!
Let's go through it.
Gonta wants to keep everyone
There
safe!
we are. Constantly need to be plugged into the computer with the cords because it's not simply close memory. It's unknown what happened if the cord was plugged into the wrong slot, so there's a chance that some kind of glitch might occur. Oh, let's see. Sorry, I was a bit focused on here.
If there was a glitch, it's gentlemen, protect friends!
Yeah, but welcome. We're in the middle of mass debate on whether this guy forgot everything or not.
Gonta not lying!
It's a little hard to keep.
Gonta swear! Please believe.
There we are.
I heard it!
Yes, long time no see. It's been a weird road, but I've started going on different paths.
The cause of the error that affected Gonta's avatar is the two cords on the helmet used to log into the virtual world.
Look at what I made. It's a painting. Quite proud of it. Took some time, but I'm starting to do some more painting now. It's kind of weird. Oh,
I think that Gonta messed up something with the cords, causing the error.
The cord's coming here. I was just gonna. That means it wasn't glitch. That's a weak argument. I swear, please believe Gonta. The cause of the error that affected Gonta's avatar is the two cords in the helmet used to log into the virtual world. The red conscious cord on the right, important blue memory cord on the left. From curiosity, what happens if you switch the cords? I don't know, I've never done that before. I feel like it's all glitchy or something. I think Gonta messed up something with the cords, causing the error. Mic volume up a bit. Alrighty then. Alright, give me a sec. No, mic volume is as high as it'll go. I'm just a bit quiet, I guess. Turn game volume down some. Alright, thank you. Alright, I am also a little bit naturally quiet, so there's that. Give me a sec. Yep, there's that one. Alright, so that's a bit better, I think. I'm not good with managing the audio if I can't hear it. It's so weird. I have to guess where it is without making the game audio so quiet you can't hear it, and me too quiet you can't hear me. I don't know. It's always been a struggle. But yeah, I made that painting last week, I think. Not too long ago. I started up painting. Got a hell of a lot of paint tubes and stuff all over the place now. Alright, well, cool. It's always nice having an old friend pop in and say hi. Well, cool. It's, I have been doing 3D stuff, so that probably, thank you. I can't take full credit for the painting because it's Beatrice from Movie Neko, and it's a pre-made picture, but more like a paint by number type aspect, but more so. Well, most of my art streams have to be on Sunday. I'm looking into doing more art and more painting. I'm working on the other ones. This is the older Beatrice painting from it. I'm looking into doing some more art streams. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what more to say about that. But I'm looking at doing some more art streams and shifting up my schedule. I will be yeah, starting tomorrow? No. Thursday and Friday I'm gonna be starting streams at 7 p.m. So 14 hours away from here. But yeah. It's glad to see you too. I try to remember all the names and faces. Especially like people who come in and actually stick around. Man, I really need better space. Maybe a bigger table. I don't know. Yeah, and that was one of the problems with the streams right now. I'm still gonna work at keeping these ones here. Well, it's well, what are you doing with it? Your sleep schedule. It's to cause it to be like that, because yeah, I've had to try and fix my sleep schedule too, mainly because of this stream. Honestly, actually, waking up at 3 in the morning to get up and do things, and then staying up till like 9, 10 at night doing other things causes a weird sleep schedule. Cool. But yeah, need any advice whatsoever, need a hand, just let me know and I'll see what I can. I'll do what I can. Words. How to word. But yeah, I'm looking at exploring the option of doing more art things, more art streams. You probably should be getting back to sleep then. But yeah, or one of the other ways to try and fix the odd sleep schedule is a lot harder, but stay up until the time you your brain is too loud. That's one. Well then, might I suggest some breathing meditation? Yeah, it actually does help out a lot. Yes. Hello, welcome. Kidro. Drova. Kidrova. Welcome. Privet. Welcome. I took some Russian courses in Duolingo, but that was a weird stretch. It was neat learning some of that stuff. Why wouldn't you help out? I gain nothing from belittling anybody or making things worse, and that ends up just making everything worse for everybody. So just be nice. It's quite simple. And the other one is, I like being nice. I like trying to help people. I'm a problem solver. I like trying to find a problem and fix it if I'm able to. Not always able to. Just a smidge. I don't really have much of a vocabulary, but I wanted to learn at least the alphabet. And I got like 3/4 of it down. I need to touch it up a bit. But yeah. I was also picking up German for a bit. Guten Morgen. All that stuff. German is weird, but apparently Russian is too, with all the different genders and das, der, die, all those, whatever you would call them again. I can't even remember them. I could read out Russian, but I couldn't tell you what it says, for the most part. Like I said, 3/4 of the alphabet I know pretty well. I'd have to look up some of the other ones. Mostly the later end of the alphabet are the ones I struggle with. Yeah, it'd be nice having more people like me, or at least who go out and try things. Yes, German is a bit hard. But it's fascinating. I like the sounds of those languages, but Portuguese, huh? A lot of people talk about Portuguese, but I actually don't know much about it. Other than it's some small little country down by the ocean. Other than that, I think, or am I thinking of something else? I think I'm thinking of Vietnamese. I don't know much about Portuguese. But yeah, the sounds in the language is pretty interesting. And the different ways they do it. People from Finland, huh? It's kind of weird. From America, it's the only languages are English, Spanish, and French. Those are the only ones that you ever run into, with Spanish being the secondary language on everything, and French being existent because of Canada. Other than that, it's just English, nothing else. But then you go to like Europe, and there's so many different countries all around that have vastly different languages. It's fascinating. Not that everyone is always talking in other random different languages, but you have more experience in it. And that's a very touchy controller. But yeah, it's cool. And there's the one thing that really does it for me is like the cadence of a language. I'll take your word on that, Spot. I don't quite know much about metal bands, whatnot. I did have a co-worker who was total into metal. He was into speed metal very heavily, and he knew all the different genres and all that stuff. He was actually looking into, at one point in his life, trying to make it big in the music world. He even knew some of the some big name band members, because he ran a guitar shop trying to do things. But then life didn't quite work out, and he ended up here. But he's got some neat stories too, man. Anyway, I'm gonna keep trying to go here, see if we can get to next part. Keep talking, chatting about things, whatever you want, but I'm gonna try and keep this story going.
If he mixed the consciousness and memory cords, then there'd be an error with memory.
Because if we don't finish, it'll be next week that we'll have to wrap it up.
Like an error that won't let you bring your avatar's memories to the real world? What?
Gonta, do you think it's possible that you improperly connected the cords?
How Gonta supposed to remember that?
Old school classic rock
He
hits,
couldn't
huh?
have messed it up. I
No,
said it
don't
over
worry.
and over.
You're
Right as
free
you
to
can,
chat.
hold your
I'm just gonna keep
chopsticks
this going more so than just
Oh,
stopping.
but Gonta hold chopsticks with this hand.
That's your left hand!
What?
There it
Looks
is,
like
yeah.
it's decided.
What?
Yeah.
Decided.
What's decided?
He's wrong, isn't he, Gonta? You remember the virtual world, don't you?
Gonta not remember. Gonta not even go to this virtual world place.
What?
Gonta fall asleep when he put helmet on.
Yeah, that's...
When Gonta wake up, Mew dead. Gonta not know what happened. So, Gonta worry. Gonta not understand what everyone
Well, then
talking
go
about.
draw. One thing I've
No,
started picking up
can't
is,
be.
especially with the paint stuff, is if you get
But
the feeling
Gonta
for
try
it,
his best to
go for it.
understand.
Act on it
Gonta
when you
imagine
can.
real hard.
That's enough, Gonta. We already know.
Because
Know what?
one of the big things for me was...
We know that you totally forgot about teaming up with me and killing Mew.
Wait a minute! That lie! Gonta not kill Mew! 'Cause why would Gonta do that?
Yeah, it's a lie. I'll never accept
But,
this.
yeah, a lot of times I would, like, go to work
And
on the
besides,
drive.
Gonta's
I'd
got
do
no
this, I'd
motive
do
to
that,
kill
and
Mew.
that, but then I'd get to work, not be able to do
I already
anything
gave
for
you my
like
testimony
9
on
hours
how I
later,
came
and
up
then
with
I'd
the
get
murder
back
plan.
home, and by that point I'd forgotten
And I'm
about it,
saying I
too
don't
tired, or
believe
whatever.
you.
So it's when you have the opportunity and the
Kokichi,
chance
if what you're
to
saying
want
is
to
true, why
motivation,
did you plan it this
act
way?
on it. Do
You
it when you
wanted to
can.
plan the murder yourself, but have someone else carry it out?
Is the person who planned it also included as a blackened with the perpetrator?
That's the big question.
Nope! Only the person who actually commits the murder becomes the blackened.
Then there's no incentive to just plan the murder.
But Gonta's such a gentle soul. Why would he agree to this?
Hold on, that hasn't been decided yet.
Who cares about the motive? Let's vote for the culprit already.
I care about the motive.
Well, I don't care. Finding the culprit is more important in this class trial. Talking about the motive is meaningless. It's not necessary for this specific case.
I'll try another one I've started trying to work on.
No matter what you say, I'll never believe your lies.
We all agree that Gonta is the culprit, right? It would be impossible for anyone but him.
The other day I was watching a stream, Doug, and he had a Twitch chat tournament thing. And at the end of it, Twitch chat was playing Smash Bros against him, and they happened to win. And I decided to make start a painting on it, and this is me starting it. And 2 characters, Twitch chat versus him up here, and we actually managed to beat him somehow. Of course, he wasn't attacking, and we were only adequately teaming up, but I decided to act on that, and it's very rare, but occasionally I'll have really big bursts of inspiration and then just act on them. I did that whole thing in basically one sitting. I did a quick sketch at first to outline things. Then after that, I detailed it all and then just kept going and going and going. I couldn't progress because I didn't have the right paint, so I had to go buy a right color. But yeah, it's, if you get motivation, you get something, act on it. Because if you just, you can wait till later, I'll do it next time. It'll always be next time, next time, next time, I'll do it later. I don't feel like it right now. And I found whenever I do that, it never happens. Or if it does happen, see, I'm not touching the controller, and it's stuck going up. But yeah, it's act on it when you have it. Act on it when you can. And now I'm trying to get in the mindset and the position of getting myself to act on it before I need to do it. It's like motivation is a way to get you to keep going. Yeah, procrastination all the time.
Impossible? Why?
But
it's pretty obvious if you use
I'm
the
trying to get
process
out of the
of
procrastination aspect and force myself into
Which
things.
means Shuichi, you'll be my partner, right?
Yellow. You'll be my partner, right? Me.
Because if you don't face the truth, then we'll all die, right?
Just silly face.
And
but
you
yeah.
don't want that, do you?
But yeah, procrastination is really bad. I'm trying to get myself. The hardest part is always starting. But once you start, you can go for quite a long time doing things. Like this Twitch channel is a perfect example. Been doing this for year and a half, almost 2. Yeah. Year and a half, I think. I think it's just been 1 year. No. Year and a half. It's almost 2. I have a bad concept of time. But, I kept talking about myself not doing it. I couldn't do this, couldn't do this. Let's just do it. And then once I did it, I kept doing it, and kept doing it. And once you're in the momentum of it, it's a lot easier to keep going.
Okay,
like Newton's physics applies to mental fortitude too.
Quit screwing around. I'm done putting up with your selfish bullshit.
Kaito, we should listen to his
all my advice is like mostly
depend on it.
self-taught, so I've had to go through the things I talk about.
So we can now take Keyboy, Himiko, and Maki off the suspect list.
Yeah, if you ever need any
Shuichi,
more advice,
would you care to explain?
I have to offer.
I doubt they'll
I'd be
believe
free to
that
give
it
it.
came from me.
Just can't quite think of it at the time. Right, well, let me. Give me a second. Reason Kibo, Himiko, and Maki can be eliminated as suspects because they couldn't have access to the crime scene. Right. But yeah, let me be a bit direct.
They couldn't get to
Do
the
you want
crime
any
scene,
advice
could
in
they?
any aspect? Do you need assistance in
The
some
bridge from the
specific
chapel
one?
to the mansion was gone, and only Mew could pass through the wall.
And that's one of the other things that does help me out a bit. Sitting down and directly facing some of your problems. One of the big ones is writing it down, because there's a very big difference between mulling things over in your head and either voicing them or writing them down. Because one of the big ones for me was fears. I was so afraid of this, so fearful of doing that. What if this happens? What if something goes bad? And there was a video I watched the other day after the fact of me figuring this out. It was kind of weird. The guy went through the similar process, came up to a similar thing, though slightly a bit better than mine, because he added one little thing. I was fearful of this thing happening. It's like, but that thing might happen. I could do this, but that thing might happen. I can't even remember what exactly it was. It was so long ago. But I wrote down what I'm afraid of. This and this and this. And I couldn't think of anything else. It was just those three things. It's like, okay, well, if I do this, what happens? This and 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 this. I had like a big old list of things that would help and happen and be good. Then this tiny list of things that were bad. And they actually weren't all that bad. One of them I think was like pretty significant, but the chances of that happening were eh. And so it's a weird feeling, yeah. It's a weird feeling overall, like, yeah, but there's the thing. Notice the word choice there. Can't control that. I had a big thing myself personally with word choice, because I noticed myself one of the earlier tricks I used to do things was noticing the word choice you use. I can't do that. I shouldn't do that. I won't do that. That's not possible for me. I shouldn't try that. So many things you start saying to yourself. And here's just a little thing to try and help out is one thing I did is whenever, let me try and get the right words for this. I tried an experiment to see how often I said bad things about me. And whenever I said, like, I can't do that, I would stop. I can do that. And it's not like I can't, oh no, I should do that. It's not that, okay. It's actually stopping, recognizing that it happened, and then correcting it. It's not just correcting it, it's facing it and actually looking at what you've said. But you can control a lot of things. You can't control everything. That's a fact of the world. But you can control your thoughts. You can control how you perceive things. You can control how you react to things. Those are things you will always have control over. Even if your body is trying to nudge you away in like fearfulness or whatever, or like procrastination, you always have the ability to react. Worth value for the choice and level of fear if some thoughts affect or not, right? Yeah, it's, I don't quite entirely get that sense, but yeah. You personally decide how much value you put into your thoughts, your choices, your actions. And you yourself are your own actions. But yeah, fear is a very powerful one. I can say all this stuff, and even though I say a lot of this stuff, I still myself am ruled by a lot of fear. Because like these paintings. This painting is a big one, and here's another one that I've found out for myself. Force yourself into a position where you can't back out. Like for instance, I've got a whole bunch of paint, right? I spent actually a lot of money on this paint. Probably more than I should have, and more than I technically wanted, but I did that on purpose, because now if I just I'm not going to paint more, I might screw it up. I have now wasted every bit of money I spent on this paint, so now I have forced myself into a position where I have to use it. I have to do the thing I want to do, even if I don't feel like it. I've got this paint. The paint will go bad if I just leave it there, so I got to use it up. I got to use it. I got to paint. And that's something I'm working towards, because I have a lot of fear of myself, not like phobias of, oh my god, the world's gonna end, but a more subtle fear of procrastination. Well, I might screw that up. What if I'm not good enough? What if I screw it up somehow? What if people hate it? What if I can't finish it? Well, all of that is all something I have control over. I can finish it. I can paint it. If I screw it up, so what? Just paint over it. It's paint. That is an interesting one. Paint, if you like sit there and like screw it up. Shit! I like painted over her face with blue. What do I do now? Get skin color. Paint right over it. Nobody will know. Motivation is a way to counteract procrastination, and the trick is being able to put yourself in a position that you get motivation and not just waiting for it. Because I've done that. I've tried a lot of it where let me back up a bit. I have a personal habit of waiting for life to happen for me. And I've noticed this time and time and time again. I found that that is a very poor way to go about life, waiting for things to happen, especially here. Because nothing's going to happen unless I make it happen. For like, the story I keep telling is, but I had 6 years of me trying things, but I was waiting for life to happen, waiting for life to come to me. It's not gonna. It hasn't. And honestly, the best things that happened in my life are when I went out and took control and did things. I had the 6 years of depression of me trying to figure out what the hell I was doing. Failed absolutely miserably. And after that, I went and got a job. I went and took control of my life. My life got better. I went and made friends. My life got better. I started this channel. My life got better. I decided to try something I was never even thought of before, going to another country. To complete strangers for a weekend to do things. My life got better. I did it. Nothing bad happened. All the horrible thoughts I had of, well, I'll be completely out of money. I won't have anything. I'll be lost in another country. I can't speak the language. Yada yada. None of that happened. And I'm okay. Nothing bad happened. You keep complimenting me and I can't say anything other than thank you. But yeah, so, and you have a lot more power than you give yourself credit for. That's a big one. You aren't all omnipotent, but there's a lot of things you can't control. Your mindset, your things. And a lot of things, here's another one. A lot of things you think you don't have any power over or you can't control, you actually can. Like one of them was, I was in a job, Walmart Automotive, and it was alright, I didn't mind it, but there was a lot of ear damage, there was a lot of stress, and it just wasn't working for me. So I decided to quit. It was actually really horrifying for me, and it was hard for me to actually go out and go through the process of it. But I did, and then I rethought my life, went about things, and now I'm in a different job. And I was so worried about, I'll never find another job, I won't be able to do this, I'm giving away something so good that it works for me, but it may not be the best, but it works. And so you can still change it. The big one is always thinking you're trapped in a box. That box is only as big as you can perceive. If you just change your angle, maybe that box is actually just slightly misaligned, and you've got a lot more space to work with. No problem. It's because, like I said, this is all self-taught things. But yeah, it's, and again, this also is what comes back to writing things down and actually looking and facing at the things messing with you in your life. I've recently had to do that a couple of times. The most recent one was I've been trying to, well, I have, over the past like month or so, I've like dropped social media to see what would happen. Like, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram, none of that stuff. The exception being YouTube because it's TV. But nothing happened. Quite literally, nothing detrimental and nothing positive happened. And it was a weird thing. It just, my life didn't change. It wasn't like drop social media and you have superpowers now. It's nothing happened because I didn't do anything. I just stopped doing that. Nothing else happened. And it used to be in the social media, I'd get in, check a couple of things, go do some stuff, keep tabs on a couple of things I was interested in. But it didn't necessarily better me in any way. It didn't necessarily detriment me in any way other than time lost. And so it's actually getting tactile evidence of what your actions and behaviors are doing. Yeah. It's the thing it made me realize is, what is it that I want to do? What is important to me? Social media has never been important to me, really. It's been a tool of sorts, but it's never been a useful tool. I've tried. This Twitch channel is an exception because I can actually interact with people as opposed to just watch people doing things. Well, then go do traditional paintings. Go read books. Yeah, well, here, I'll give you, I'll be a bit forceful, I guess. Go look at a painting. Go start a painting. Go read a book. I'd like you to go do one of those things you've been putting off. I can't tell the little you've given me, but go do one of those. Yeah, because one of the other things is I personally have trouble getting myself to act. It's always been an uphill battle for me to get myself to do things because personally I'm not all that materialistic. I don't much care for a lot of things to do, and I can leave a hell of a lot alone and just exist and be okay with that. It's tolerable to me, but I've always wanted to try and do more, but I've never had a personal motivation for it. Don't quite know where I'm going with this, but yeah, so one of the things that has helped me out is when somebody else needs something, like, hey, can you help me go do this? Oh, yeah, sure. I'll drop everything and try and go and do the thing. But yeah, so one thing that helps me is other people wanting things to do. I'd like you to go out and like read one of those books or make a painting or whatever it is, one of those things. Just pick up one of them and go do it. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to not care about money. As it is, money is a necessary evil in the society we are in. I don't need $1 million. I'm just looking for enough to live on and be happy with. That's what I'm looking for, which I'm okay with at the moment, but I'd like to improve myself a bit more. I'll need some more. And yeah, and get back to me. I'd like proof of it, so you can't back out, man. Whatever happens to be, whatever you happen to do, come back and let me know. Just so you can't back out. That's another thing I've had to work with. You can come up with things, but especially if morning, pizza. Pizzicato am I? Welcome. But that's one of the other things. Being able to back out, because like if you set a goal for yourself, I'm gonna go do this, but yeah, I'll put it off, and no one's really gonna worry about it. It's just the thing I'm doing, right? And then you procrastinate, never get to it. Or like, I'll do this tomorrow or the next day or whatever. You always procrastinate if it's yourself, because you know it doesn't matter. But if somebody else makes you do it, somebody else is depending on you. That gives you that little bit more reason to action. Anyway, Morning, guys. Right. I'll try and get through here a bit more. But yeah. It's... mindset is a big one. And another one is physically acting and physically looking and recording and giving it an actual form so you can combat it. This case has been aggravating for me in so many ways. Like, the first half was just, you idiots, it's a virtual world, it loops. You idiots, just, yes, you figured it out. No, you were close, stop. Yeah, I've recently been thinking about that too, and yeah, it does fit me, because I'm always looking for a craft, trying to figure things out. Oh, thank you for the follow. Alright. Yeah, it's, I'm currently shifting up my schedules. I actually do need to, fix that. I'm only going to be doing these morning streams, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, I'm going to try evening streams, personally. Oh, really? Here's what I do. Well, maybe try some of those death portraits. That might be an interesting one. This is a painting I made not too long ago. Beatrice the Golden. I'm actually really happy with how that came out, except for the face. I really hate how the face is okay. It's okay. Just, it could be better, and I know it could be better, but I don't know how to make it better. Anyway, I'm learning. And one of the things I'm trying to get myself into the mindset of is I'm allowing myself to fail. That's a really big one I'm working on now. Because I have the tendency of a perfectionist, and it's like, it's not right. I have to sit there and like plan it all out and make sure everything is gonna work out and then go for it. Obsessed by portraits? I don't know. I like the character in portrait. You can see the people, the person, and a bit more of them in, like, because in a lot of artworks, like especially like wallpapers or like artworks that people draw out and work with, I like the characters because there's a lot more to it you can do than just the landscape. But yeah. I can do decently well with the human form, except for hands and a face. The hands, I can do alright. The face is where I start falling apart. I can do an eye. I can't do two eyes. That's always the problem. It's like, oh man, that eye looks really good. It's hard to getting it all there. But yeah, it's but yeah, back to the other point. All right. I've got my Discord up. If you want to join, you can share anything you want there too. I think do I have a link in there? I don't think I have a link. I think I need to put in a link for that. Oh, really? Yes. Oh, cool. Congratulations. I've been looking at taking some classes. One thing I want to take is a life drawing class. Because most of the references I have are all already artistic type styles. It's somebody drawing their picture, somebody drawing the thing, and they're all pictures. I don't know what it is, but there's a difference between looking at a picture and looking at life. There's an element of difference there that isn't picked up in film. But not computer stuff, yeah. And there's other aspects like that. I've done a bit of digital art, not a lot. I have done some 3D modeling, which is pretty cool. But there's something to be said for tangible physical art. I can't describe it, but it handles different. It's tactile. You can see it and interact with it. It's different, and I like the traditional style. It works a bit better for me personally. But I gotta finish my thought, man. Go ahead and keep talking about whatever, but allow yourself to fail. That is a very big one I'm working on, because I work on like a sketch, a project, and if I knew I couldn't do it right, the project would be stopped. It'd be dropped because I know I can't do that. I'll need to train. I'll need to do research. I'll need to do something else and come back to it. I'm trying to force myself to do things to completion, even if they are wrong, because I want to try and work towards getting it completed as opposed to getting it perfect. Alright. Yeah, it's the 3D stuff. It was interesting. They've had a few updates. I might download some of that. I might do that at some point, but at the moment I'm trying to like finish to completion. I've got the painting stuff. I'm trying to get these projects completed. I may or may not come back to 3D. We'll see. But one of the things for like 3D, I've determined I'm not really an animator or a texturer with the tools I know of and how to use. I would be a modeler for 3D. But that might be an interesting one to link back to. Maybe. Yeah, no. One of the other ones is... Yes, I played 1 and 2. This is a blind run of the 3. I played 1 and 2 years ago, so my memory is enough, not specifics. But yeah, it's not just allowing yourself to fail, partly to make yourself fail. Because here, I'll give you a little project you can work on. Do an art project, okay? Or whatever type and origin, whatever. Do something purposely wrong. The final product is required to have a flaw. That is the project goal. See how reluctant you are of doing that. It's a very weird process, because I did that. I worked on something and it's like, okay, the goal is to make this wrong. Doing it wrong is the correct procedure. But it's wrong. I gotta fix it. Why? The project is do it wrong. Do it in a way that is incorrect and finish it like that. It's weird how much you have to want to fix that. And it helps you see what your own thought process is. It's an interesting project. I'll fully admit it's incredibly uncomfortable to do that, but it's interesting. You learn about yourself with that. Yeah, and you'll see how much you don't want to let it go. You have to do it right. You have to do it the proper way. But the proper way is do it wrong. It's a neat little one. I did that. I came up with that project myself because I was noticing how resistant I was to certain things, and it's like, let's make a project wrong. It was so uncomfortable, but it's like, why am I uncomfortable? I set out with the goal to do it wrong. I set out with the goal. This is what I wanted to do. This is the end product. Why am I trying to fix it? Fixing it would be breaking it. And it's, yeah, get yourself to fail. Get yourself to allow yourself to fail. And then you can progress. You can move through it. But yeah. Anyway. If anything I can say helps and do whatever, inspires you to, for whatever, cool. More power to you. Alright. I am going to try and continue on this game a bit more. Get to maybe a better stopping spot than some random comment in the middle of a confession. I'm glad you stopped by. I go on so many tangents on this channel, it's interesting. one thing I really love about this channel. I started this today with this game. Gonna try and figure out if these guys are still morons or not. And now we're talking about art and philosophy and failing. And it's like, that wouldn't have happened without you guys. So it's always interesting having people come in and just talk about whatever. And you get me so invested in the conversation, I end up spending like 20 minutes not progressing on the game at all. But yeah, I'm very grateful for you guys too. You guys, the chat, is really what makes my day for these streams. Because I could always just play the game by myself and just sit here and experience it, but it's always interesting to experience it with more people, or experiencing not just the game, but whatever it is you're doing, having like other people around you. There's like, ignore that thought, but yeah, there's always something more being with people, doing things with others. It's always cool. That's something I'm trying to strive for now. Anyway, back to the game. Again, feel free, keep talking about whatever. I'll probably get 5 more block texts before you guys come up with something else to derail the show. But feel free. This is an off-road train. The bridge from the chapel of the mansion was gone, and only Miu could pass through the wall.
The 3 at the chapel had no way to get to the mansion, so they couldn't have done it. Kaito is the next one off our suspect list, and you know why, right?
He was logged out. You know, it was like 3 boxes away from a question.
Kaito had logged out ahead of us.
Miu logged Kaito out from the start.
I like being chill. It,
but
I've
she
never
did
been
that
a
to make us
high
think
action,
the murder
high
happened
intensity.
in the real world, right?
I've never quite enjoyed that aspect.
Since we figured out the actual killing happened in the
It is
virtual world.
okay to be like excited about something that actually happened, something cool and crazy, then yeah. But I often like being more chill, just down to earth, and hey, just a couple of friends chatting. I like doing things more like a couple of buddies sitting on a couch, one guy's playing, hey, try that. Oh yeah, cool, let's go over there. That's how I've always seen a lot of this stuff. And it may not be exciting, but it's a little bit more impactful, I guess. It's a way to do it in a subtle way.
It would have been impossible for Kaito, who had already logged out.
Sticky note.
Miu's time of death was around 6:30 in the morning. That's after Kaito logged out.
Alright.
Kokichi's completely running the show now.
He's not wrong.
My synergy with Shuichi is super on point now, so let's move on to the remaining suspects.
Alright, yes. Do I
Gota,
have...
Samugi, Shuichi, and me. Samugi and Shuichi can be crossed off. But what's the reason for that?
The reason why Samugi and I can't be the culprit is... we didn't go to the roof. We have solid alibis. There we go.
Tsumugi and I are witnesses to each other's alibis.
Alright, let me give you a
Both of
link
you
to
heard
Discord.
Miu hitting the chapel wall, right? The culprit was definitely on the roof during that time, since they slid Miu down. Because of that, Shuichi and Samugi can't be the culprit.
There you go.
That leaves only Gonta and me as the remaining suspects.
Then you're the culprit!
But he couldn't have done it.
Sorry for getting your hopes up,
But yeah,
but
no
didn't
problem.
I
Go
already
feed your
explain
cat.
that's
It's important.
impossible?
They need to eat. But yeah, our Discord's pretty laid back and doesn't quite do much in the morning. Reason why Kokichi can't be the culprit is Kokichi... he couldn't have killed Miu.
If Miu touched him, he'd freeze in place. Kokichi wasn't capable of strangling her.
So then, it's down
Yeah.
to one person. And who was that again? Well, who is it?
Don't answer, Shuichi! You don't need to answer that! This is all Kokichi's trap!
So one suspect left. only one person could have done this.
It's Gonta.
Shuichi?
Yep, Gonta is the only person who could have committed the murder. You get it now, right? That's the truth we were all reaching for. The thing you guys wanted so badly! A truth without any lies! Yu Iruma's killer is Gonta Gokuhara!
Really? Did Gonta really do it?
Jeez, is that really your reaction? It would have been fun if you went all crazy. But you forgot everything. So, oh well. A culprit who can't remember their murder is pretty interesting. So, better than nothing. If Gonta remembered, his cover would have been blown so fast.
Check it out
Especially
after the
since
stream.
He's an idiot.
Hold on. I still haven't accepted this. This has gotta be Kokichi's trap. I still believe in Gonta. He's not the kind of person who'd kill.
Kaito.
I already said this a million times, Kaito. You shouldn't use emotions
You
to
want proof? I've got your proof. After Tsumugi and Shuichi heard Kibo's voice in the mansion, they ran outside. And who did they see out there?
Oh, Shuichi and Tsumugi. Gonta, did you see Kibo around here anywhere? No, Gonta not see him.
Gonta.
Kokichi said it himself. When Miu's avatar crashed into the chapel wall, the culprit must have been on the roof.
I see. If Gonta's the culprit, it'd be weird if he wasn't on the roof.
It's possible that he fled the mansion after he heard the impact.
You'd have to go through the entrance hall to get outside the mansion from the roof. Is that where Shuichi and Tsumugi ran to when they heard the crashing sound?
Then maybe he jumped off the roof.
That's not possible. That rooftop was pretty high up.
Yeah, the rooftop was high up.
Normally,
and the avatars
Gonta could have done it,
average.
but his avatar wasn't strong enough. How about that? Now you get it, right? If Gonta was the culprit, there's no way he could have been outside the mansion.
Now you can't say Gonta's the culprit. Congrats, Gonta.
What? Really?
It would have been so nice if that were the truth. Kaito were right, and this horrible trial would just end. But
No, that's wrong.
What?
Just because Gonta was at the mansion doesn't mean that he isn't the culprit. All the culprit needed was a way to get from the roof to outside the mansion.
Huh?
Looks like Shuichi got it. I'll leave the rest to him.
do I think Gonta did it? Gonta is easily manipulatable. Kokichi teamed up with him at the beginning. Kokichi and Gonta ran around doing a lot of things together. Two sides. One, Gonta has the capability to kill people, hands down. He's very able to do that. He's not quite willing to. It's very strange. And it's... I don't want to believe it.
Kaito, I know how you feel. I know because we all feel it.
And there's not necessarily just Kokichi couldn't have killed Miu because she'd freeze him if he touched him. There are ways to do it at range, roundabout, things like that. I still haven't given up that train of thought, and we haven't discussed it either. So, yes, everyone had their strengths equalized. Yeah, I remember that.
but we have to face the truth. No matter
It's
how
not just
cruel that
strength.
truth may be, we need to face it to survive.
He has a savageness to him. He has the capability of being powerful. You have 2 clues left.
Whose side are you on, Shuichi?
2 clues
Kaito,
left, huh?
please.
Aren't you my
There's the
sidekick?
hammer.
Was that
but-
just a lie?
Kaito!
Fine then. I'll tear that sorry reasoning of yours apart and wake you up.
I can't doubt my detective work now. I want us all to survive. I can't back down. Alright. Argument, armament, start.
I'll never accept this.
What
Don't
the
you know
hell?
Gonta at all? Not the kind of guy who kills someone.
This is one of my least.
Don't you know that about him
It's just
by
very
now?
odd.
I'll never accept this. Don't you know Gonta at all? God damn it! Why won't you believe Gonta?
Very weird.
Why are you listening to Kokichi?
I hate that one.
Aren't you my
Shit.
sidekick?
Sorry, I have to focus here, otherwise things get weird.
Wake up, Shuichi! Why won't
I
you
think it's
believe
very
Gonta?
repetitive. I dislike that aspect.
Why are you listening to Kokichi? Aren't you my sidekick? Wake up, Shuichi! Why won't
Kaito
you
is the
believe
other
Gonta?
potential one.
Why are you listening? Damn it!
Yeah, the 3.
Who do you want to
This is super
believe?
great.
Remember what Kokichi has done to us!
Give me 1 minute.
Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? Say the truth this, the truth that. There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit! Who do you want to believe?
Is it him?
Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how
yeah,
Gonta's
don't we have a-
always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit?
I forgot
Still
we have
wanna
Turbo.
accuse him, huh? Say the truth this, the truth that. There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit! Who do you want to believe? Damn it!
Alright, final blow.
There's no way to leave the mansion from the rooftop!
It ends
Alright.
here!
Damn it!
Alright. Give me a second. That was a weird little tangent to go
The
through.
toilet paper we found outside the mansion.
Alright, let's see. Give me a sec. Clues left. Let me load those up. There we are. On Kuma file doesn't help. Miu's corpse. Device instructions. Poison. Vents in the chapel. Campus account. The only one logged out from the virtual world. While I was looking for the secret acid world. Match rooftop. Bring out light fear down. Not able to do it. Back to the 2 minutes left. Killing game simulator. Log in, lock out records. Sumugi's account. Secret acid world. Miu's after the window. Loud noise. Map of the mansion. That's one we haven't used yet. The first floor matches the virtual salon, dining room, kitchen, and bathroom. The second floor is only the rooftop. I'll look at the secret of the outside world. Kokichi searches the salon, Sumigi searches the dining room, Kaito searches the rooftop, and going to search outside of the mansion. And he left before she did. Okay. Map of the world. Toilet paper, found on the ground outside the mansion. Signboard, salon, foods, a hammer, cell phone, lattice. Found frozen clouds between the virtual avatar, body dies, Cypher's can't be injured, doesn't everything to kill him, so let's get stop that. Our Muse after is only one that was sent to object. You include each meeting, could you be on match room data when side has split up, search outside, Mew volunteers search the chapel, Kokichi in the salon, could meet up because the door of the rooftop was locked, he couldn't, because that he returned to the salon, decided to search there, there are no witnesses to confirm whether or not Kokichi was actually in the salon. All added by Mew, settings on Kokichi's avatar error. There's not too many left, actually. First lockout, Kiba was the first to discover Mew's body. She still had her visor on at the time. That was all after. Where's that? couple were found outside the mansion.
That's what the culprit used to get from the roof to the ground.
The toilet paper?
The same toilet paper that was used as the murder weapon. That's why
I was
we
just
didn't
looking at
find
the
it
clues.
anywhere else. Not at the scene of the crime, nor on Yu's body. It was outside the mansion.
Toilet paper's
Hold
here.
on. If they use the toilet paper as a rope to get down from the roof, then they need to tie it to something. But there was nothing to tie it to. I know because I investigated the roof.
You're stubborn, Kaito. You're still going on about this.
Of course I am! I'm gonna believe in Gota till the very end!
No, there was something that the toilet paper could have been tied to.
What?
Yes, the place where the toilet paper was tied down. Oh, yeah. I was thinking something a bit more macabre.
The binoculars on the rooftop. The toilet paper could have been tied there. However, I don't think the culprit actually tied it down there. They just hung it. And then used the doubled up toilet paper to climb down.
And then they could split apart.
But in that case, they would have had to tug on it in order to take it down.
Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Because I came up with that idea. But I thought I told Gonta to put the toilet paper back in the bathroom. Oh, I guess he ran into someone on the way and then threw it somewhere close by. Looks like Kaito's morale is shot, so this whole thing is done now.
The matter does appear to be settled.
That... it's...
So, it's true. Going to really kill Mew.
But I'm the one who came up with the plan. Anyway, just admit your crime, Gonta. Even though you don't remember, you still did it.
But why did Gonta do such a terrible thing?
Wait,
That's the big
before you
question.
start crying, you gotta admit your crime first.
Stop. I won't let you, Kokichi. If anyone is gonna get him to confess, it's me. Gonta, I'm going to look back at the whole case one more time, okay? When you're convinced, you just let me know, all right? Let's end this together.
Okay.
Toilet paper that doesn't tear. Bottle of poison. Cell phone. Alright, so this means Kokichi's a pretty devious little guy. Entrance hall of the mansion in the virtual world. That'd be the map. What do you do when the others left the mansion? Holy cow. So that's who. Alright. What object can you use? A cell phone. Alright, what was welcome you brought to kill Kokichi? A hammer. Who was logged out against their will? What's the culprit used to strangle Mew? Toilet paper. Alright. Clear these up. What do we got? Okay, we've got Lightus, Kaito Momota, and map of the virtual world. How the culprit escaped from the roof? Toilet paper again. Who was the body off the roof? What was taken out of the storage room? Lightus. There's the locked roof door, which is very odd. We bring to kill Kokichi, who's logged out against the will. Katumoto. Alright. And one more. We've got, what is it? Map of the virtual world. What was positioned at the entrance of the virtual world? The map. Alright. Miu smuggles in a hammer, and they threw the signboard in the river. What weapon did you kill? That was a hammer. And then there's the river. None of those places. This one, I think. See the signboard into the river. There we go. Okay, so now that's everything, I think. Alright, very odd to go through this. Alright. We got Katumo looking for the secret to the outside world. That's probably a fake one. Shuji Saihara looking for the secret to... Oh. Who's investigating the kitchen? Shuji. Blue cord on the right, red cord on the left. That would be this last one here. Alright. Oh, wait. There he is. Investigating the roof. Culprit looking for the secret of the outside world. Yeah, binoculars and toilet paper. Tsumugi. Okay, there we are. There we are. Is that all of them? Do we have more? Binoculars and toilet paper. I think that was up here. There we are. Alright.
This is the truth of the case!
Alright, let's get through it.
The case began last night. After being convinced by Mew, we all logged into the virtual world.
But the biggest one is
to
motive.
log in, you have to plug the memory and consciousness cords into the device.
Because Gonta could have been tricked. Miyu killed somebody. Miyu is doing something bad. We have to protect people from her. Gonta would be very gullible in that situation. In which case he could be spurred into action to protect people by killing them.
But the culprit had accidentally plugged their cords into the wrong ports. Because of this, a connection error occurred between the culprit's brain and their avatar.
The thing was,
As a
Kokichi...
result, the culprit would forget everything that happened in the virtual world.
I don't like this. A lot of it logistically
It's
clicks,
possible
but
that this had an effect on their
they're flipping
avatar's
us off, man.
personality as well.
oh yeah, because consciousness and memory.
I can't believe that someone so kind could commit murder.
Yeah,
But
that's
we had no idea this error even happened. And so, we all logged in one by one. Meanwhile, Mew was the last to log in. She had modified the killing game simulator so she could accomplish a specific goal. After
Miyu set it all up for Kokichi. Kokichi
She
probably
took out the bottle
realized
of
that and was working countermeasures towards it. Namely, setting up the
and placed it on Kokichi's
Gonta
suit.
murder.
This was done to
But
make it look like
how would
Kokichi was
he-
killed by poison when we returned.
How would we...
Yes.
How would he plan for
The
Gonta's
reason
mishap?
Mew
He probably
modified the
didn't.
simulator and brought us to the
And just was
virtual world
working on his
was to kill
normal
Kokichi in the virtual world, but make it look
gullibility.
like he had died in the real world. After we had all logged in, Mew explained the world to us.
I still don't
Use
quite
the
like it.
salon phone to lock out. Objects are unbreakable. Your avatars use all 5 senses. She also explained the map of the virtual world in
Yeah,
the
the map.
mansion's entrance hall. But her explanation was intentionally false.
Yeah,
She
Kokichi,
wanted us to
we
misunderstand
never
the world.
fully ruled him out other than he
However,
couldn't touch
one
her.
of us was able to see through her scheme.
But then, logistically use the toilet paper to rappel down a building. It's got
the
length. You
very
can work
person
at things.
Mew was trying to kill, Kokichi. Kokichi was going to use Mew's plan against her and plotted her murder. But Kokichi wouldn't do it himself. He used a patsy to be the culprit in this case.
Patsy, huh? Yeah.
Kokichi was tight-lipped about the motive, so I don't know why the culprit agreed.
That's
But
the
it
big one.
seems as though right after logging in, when Kokichi and the culprit went outside, they were already working together to execute the murder.
Yeah, they went outside and he converted Gonta at that point. But we didn't specify how or
Eventually, we met up with Kokichi and
which is
crossed
a
the river to
big
the
factor
chapel.
for Gonta.
Mew had us split up to try to find some secret of the outside world.
Oh, yeah, that stupid secret.
Kaito, Kokichi,
Did anybody
Gonta,
even actually ever
Tsurugi,
find
and
it?
I investigated the mansion, while Maki, Himiko, Kibo, and Mew investigated the chapel.
Yeah, so many
Splitting us
oddball
up
things
was
about this
also
chapter.
part of Mew's plan.
Apparently there was a motive, a secret here to find.
At the
We
chapel,
never found it though.
Mew told Maki
And then
that
never
she was going to look around outside.
Talked about it, we just died.
She chased after our group while we were heading toward the mansion.
Zoom. I like these little chibi avatars. They're a little different than other ones.
Once she made sure we were across, she dropped the bridge into the river. This was to trick us into thinking that the river separated the mansion and chapel. At the time, we thought nothing of it. It was just another one of Mew's pranks.
Just a prank, bro. Just a prank.
That's
The
why we
line of
continued with the
logistical
original plan
stupidity.
to find the secret of the
Yeah,
outside
okay,
world.
we'll just leave you alone, abandoned on that side or whatever. No big deal.
We went to the mansion and split up to look for clues.
Let's split up, gang. And not give anybody an
Kokichi
alibi.
searched the salon. Kaito searched the roof. Tsumugi searched the dining room. I searched the kitchen. And finally, the culprit searched outside
It's
the
only
mansion.
small. I mean, you can cover more ground if you split up. Yes. Fact 1, you're in a killing game.
Around that
Fact
time,
2, you're in a killing
Mew
game
was headed for
simulator.
the wall that was on the side of the chapel.
Fact
She
3,
passed
you've
through
been
the
split up
wall
from half
and
your
headed
group.
to the mansion to kill Kokichi.
Why?
You see, the wall was a special wall that Mew had added herself.
Just so many
This wall was
things. Yeah,
programmed
okay.
so that only objects
You've
could
abandoned
pass through.
yourself to the other side of the river. No big
And
deal.
Mew had changed her avatar settings from human to object.
I was so frustrated
was the
during the
hidden
first
route
half
she
of this
prepared
game.
for
I said,
herself.
you idiots.
She
You
set up
idiots."
a wall that only she could pass through. Mew headed toward the mansion, but she was seen by Tsumugi on the way.
Oh, I saw Mew, but I guess I was wrong. I guess I was right.
When she entered the mansion, she pulled out her cell phone. She didn't tell us that there was another way to log out.
Or, like,
Then,
oh, cell phone.
she spoke a name into the
Oh,
phone.
that can make
which
people log
forced
out.
that
Interesting.
person to log
Yes!
out.
Very interesting. Yes, very much so.
It was Kaito who was on the roof at the time. The same roof where Kokichi and Mew were going to meet. By having Kaito search the roof and then forcing him to log out,
Yeah.
she was making him look the most suspicious. But her plan didn't go smoothly. Kokichi was waiting on the roof with a culprit and the toilet paper used to kill Mew.
Smells like
While Mew was
X-Lux.
distracted by Kokichi, the culprit snuck up from behind. and used the toilet paper from the mansion's bathroom to strangle Mew. This was only possible because objects in the virtual world are unbreakable.
This does line up, but you're missing the motive.
Mew's avatar was strangled to death, and the shock killed Mew in the real world. After the murder, Kokichi left the cleanup to the culprit and left the roof. He probably returned to the salon as soon as he could to avoid drawing suspicion. The culprit then took the lattice from the storage room and placed Mew's body on top along with the hammer and the cell phone.
Just stick it in her pockets, but yeah, whatever.
The culprit heaved the lattice over the railing and forcefully slid it down the roof slope.
These reveals are so slow. I don't know what it is, but that bugs me.
With a body on top of it, the lattice became a makeshift sled and flew off the roof.
Yep. I figured that out really early on.
It went through the wall that only objects can pass through before crashing into the chapel. That was the crashing sound that Kibo heard in the chapel and we heard in the mansion. Mew's wall hid the fact that the mansion and chapel were actually right next to each other.
Yep.
That's why Tsumugi and I were able to hear the crash from the mansion.
I wonder if they make these comics before they make the case, and then
As
they
the final step,
like do it
the
all
culprit
backwards.
had to then get off the roof. Because we were at the mansion, they couldn't take the stairs or they'd be seen. So they used the toilet paper again to escape from the rooftop.
Yep. Super toilet paper, huh?
They hung the toilet paper from the binoculars on the roof and used it like a rope to climb down. Once the culprit was safely on the ground, they pulled at the toilet paper to retrieve it. They would have returned it to the bathroom, but they ran into us as we were leaving the mansion.
There we are.
In a
Toss.
panic, the culprit tossed the toilet paper somewhere nearby.
One thing that bugs me though is it was in a near perfect roll. That's really hard
Without
to do.
that one little mistake, we might never have solved this case because the culprit doesn't remember. This is the truth you've forgotten, Gonta Gokuhara, the ultimate entomologist.
And I just befriended him too. Apparently I'm bad at picking friends.
Gonta, this is the truth we've reached.
Sorry. Going to not really understand. Cause going to not smart boy. But if everyone agree, then everyone probably right. Going to trust everyone.
Gonta.
But why? Going to kill Mew. Forget everything. Going to even think he not do anything bad. And then going to try to blame someone else. And make everyone suffer.
You didn't blame somebody else.
Why? Why go to do such terrible thing?
Gonta, it's not your fault.
It's Kokichi's fault. He must have tricked Gonta.
Huh? I totally didn't trick him. Before we go into that, it's voting time. We should finish up the
pushing
class
it.
trial first.
All adds up and I don't have anything else. Before we go into that, it's voting time. We should finish up the class trial first.
But is this the right answer? We're not being fooled by Kokichi?
For once, I wish that we were.
already? What a buzzkill of an ending. It lacks the rush of previous voting times. Well, after so many killing games, I guess it was bound to happen eventually.
It's just as well. This killing game is a bad influence on the baby.
Oh my, Monotaro.
You can take
Starting to
a couple
look
steps
like a
back
father.
and technically have somebody else be the killer, because we were all in a virtual machine and that killed us. It was made by Miyu. Technically, Miyu committed suicide, or something of that nature.
Yeah! I gotta get my act together for the baby.
For the big.
Now then, pull yourselves together and let's begin! The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face off! It's voting time!
He's the only one who could have. Favorite genres? You know what? It's past time, so I'm actually gonna save here. We'll do the voting time for next time. But my favorite genres, actually, I grew up with 3D platformers, so Crash Bandicoot, Banjo-Kazooie, those kind of games. So that's what I'm pretty. Yeah, it's same here. It's, well, I can't recall the other ones, but I don't remember them being bad. The other 1 or 2 games, but this one was just aggravating on a lot of levels. It was an obvious trick that took forever to be revealed, and then somebody else got blamed. But then we didn't explain why. It's just JRPGs and puzzle games. I can appreciate puzzle games. I do like those. I like also adventure explorer games, Zelda and the like. It does, but I don't like it. We haven't fully explored it yet. We haven't looked for the motive why. What did Kokichi say to get Gonta to act like that? No one even questioned that. They just said Kokichi tricked him, and then accepted that. While still saying that Gonta couldn't have done it. You know? But yeah. Anyway, today's Tuesday, so tomorrow I'll have another stream. It's gonna be actually Umineko and episode 8, near the end, I think. I don't know. It's hard to tell where the end is in that game. It just keeps going. But we're currently solving riddles and puzzles and stuff for the next one. Alright, but yeah, so we'll start this one next up Monday. I'm currently going through a schedule change, so things are a bit odd. But yeah, that's where we're at. Anyway, thank you guys coming in 2 weeks ago. No spoilers. I want to try and figure it out best I can and be shocked, same as you guys were. If I get stuck, hint her. We'll see. But I'd like to try and figure stuff out. Anyway, no. I trust you guys. I honestly do trust most of you people, but I just have to say it just for legal reasons. All that bullshit. Anyway, take care, guys. I gotta get going. I got kind of a time limit on my streams here. Anyway, see you later. Thanks for the neat chat and new names. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Take care. Have a good one.